Hello to all the amazing people, and welcome to another episode of Limbus Company, an amazing gacha from Project Moon. This is the third game from them I'm playing. You can find the full playlist in the comment description below the video, and also in the description you can find the playlist to their previous two games. They're all good, I would recommend them. If you want a free one, this is the free one. If you want a really quality one, it's Library Ruina one. And if you want a oldie but goodie strategic game, Lobotomy Corporation, then that's the way you should check it out. Anyhow, let's go and do the Murder on the Warp Express story here. Started it last time. Stages, we're gonna continue today. MultiCrack office, alright. So we meet the new faction here. This is where the new identities that got introduced are from. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we opened the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted by a loud commotion. It sounds like there are other survivors. Ah, passengers in danger, worry not, for I have arrived to... Ah! Whoa, what's that? Whoa, don't come any closer. Who the hell are you guys? A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. Oh, it's a woman, okay. She appeared without warning. Faust stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away. Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Hello there, Miss Grievous. Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old-timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. Oh, dude, like, are we in the future? You're in the future of some kind of a different dimension, something like that. Oh, you wanna see what this old-timer's got left in him? Haha, thou art from the north, verily, thy garb is that of northerners, no? No, I think she's not from here. This really ain't the time, lass. Anyway, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah. She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place go to waste. Bitten? The bloody hell are you talking about? Oh, we got vampires, dum. Or something similar. Weird, you look completely lost. If you were in one of the economy cars, I'm sure you've seen... Hold on. Are you from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't the first class seats supposed to be, we don't look rich, that's what you tried to say? Well, why don't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, MultiCrack office rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. We warped over to T-Corp after picking up one of the contracts, but geez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit, if you ask me. You can feel all that even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I leave without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I made sure to get high quality parts for him, so I can still feel hungry and sleepy. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass did something else of note go down. How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that. Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want them to sync up with the other parts anytime soon. Anyhow, I don't know what the hell is going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden. Haven't got damn clue as to why they are. I don't seem like they can understand us either. Good thing my car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped what monsters there were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. 3201 red colors, 3202 red colors. You have decided to protect them, despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. But of course, 'tis expected duty of any valorous fixer to stand guard in the front lines against evil to protect the weak. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what the hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way to the front of the train, so if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there at one of the train cars in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell you about the situation, so what's your story? Why'd your rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that happened here could have made it your swanky first-class cars, so what's your business down here? V-Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are, fixers! Indeed, fixers. Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Ha! They got every single one of you a first-class ticket. Your office must be rolling in the dough. Well, since we are working for them, maybe we just got them for free? Wait a goddamn second, so V-Corp already knew that this would happen. But, I really contracted to a wink. Not sure if I trust ya. As you must be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of a paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that V-Corp is one of the most secretive wings in the city. Ah, a non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't wanna deal with those offy boys either. Anyway, I'm still gonna have to ask for proof that you're actually contracted by V-Corp. This is the master keycard given to us by the V-Corp. I believe that it can open most doors aboard this train. Faust produced a master keycard from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by V-Corp. A keycard, so use this to open the pad between the first class and the economy class car. Let's see, V-Corp logo. Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there's any cash in it for me either. So, I guess you got all the way down there for your job, huh? Okay, maybe she's not from a different dimension. Yes. The fixer finally got out of our way, then with one of her free hands pointed towards the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents, or your victory lap, if you guys are really that good. Lots of luck to y'all. I thank thee for thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with protection of this fortress. Pray protect the innocent in my stead. Big Sis, are you a fixer? Are you going to save us from the monsters in the cars behind us? Huh? Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails. I have forsought. Oh, are you a famous fixer? This is how Don Quixote behaves around famous fixers. All starstruck and all. Forsought once again, thou mayest know me as profoundly illustrious fixer. Oh, I want to be a fixer too, just like you. Don't pester the lady. I'm sorry she's my daughter and... Worry not thyself, 'tis no bother. Not bother at all, thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It's fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence endured that child's survival. What you talking about is all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep us appearances between people in the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two on something or what? I see. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what you just said. Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Be like what? You know, there was no way the fixer was actually there to protect them out of a pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusion anyway, am I right? Good move. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. You saw that twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Nice. Faust rode towards Sasha with a question. I have one last thing to inquire. It will be 30k on per inquiry. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract is successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate office in our report to V-Corp? Whoa, you serious? Well then, let me hear it. Are the eyes of the monsters you face red by any chance? Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something, then answered. I don't know. Those monsters were red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. The passenger over there got red eyes, and oh, you there. That lady with the big sword also got red eyes. Everything's red for her. What, is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something? No, well, it was a question of no significance. Paused not lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. Grah. Hoo-hoo! It was just as we had feared. The scene that happened before us looked like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Well, everyone's insides all over the place. Well, that's the warp train for you. But that should just be like normal things, no? Oh yeah, 060 actually answered to my last video. Thanks for that, by the way. So yeah, technically the people are not being cloned back together. They're being reassembled. But they're getting also their memories wiped. So like in practice, it's almost as if they became a clones of themselves before the journey. But technically that's not correct. But yeah, like anyway. Painting of Hell. Let's go. I'm gonna use the story. So here we get 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 bonus. But like, don't I already have a bigger bonus because I get also this one here? So why it's only 20? Oh, because the ID itself is not. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, I guess we go with this one. Let's see. When it's the first fight, they're gonna have to sweat. Seems like similar to last time. This one's like glowing. Violent bloodback passenger. I'm the best in majority of work fields, but cheering requires a long boot sequence and others. The region of empathy needs some dusting to load up due to low usage frequency. Yeah, Angela, my announcer here, is a little bit, how should I say it, philosophical and talks a lot, dude. And she's talking a lot about actually the Lobotomy Corporation lore. She was an AI there. Having a really important role of being manager's assistant, I think, and we were the manager, the ones like running the place. This is a precise rating of your enemy's weaknesses. I'm glad that your capabilities met my expectations. That means one of the attacks landed a very high damage amount. She's impressed, kind of. Boo 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 boo. Okay, so like these attacks here, you can see if it's dominating, then it means it has like very high chance of winning the clash. If it's unopposed, that means it's a one-sided attack. Favored, like high chance of winning. Yeah, like they're staggered. I did a lot of damage to them, so they're stunned for a turn now, so they cannot fight back. But yeah, sometimes instead of like doing a normal attack, I'll do like a defensive move, and sometimes I'm gonna do like an E.G.O. Unleash. That's a special attack you pay with resources, but most of the time for these easy fights it's just like auto combat through. This game has a lot of filler, so if you're looking for something more tight, I would recommend Library of Ruina. It's very similar mechanics, but a bit more tight and more balanced. This one has way more content though, and well, it's free, so that's a huge advantage. There is some like microtransactions in it if you want to speed up your progress, but it's really not necessary. I supported the game by buying season passes every season so far, so I think I spent like 40 euros so far, like 10 per season. Like I guess like an average person that doesn't play video games that much and has many games to play, who just wants to try the game out, you might want to hop in, grab one, like at the start of a season, grab. Oh, insufficient ink and fallen, but we can grab more. Wait. Maybe grab one season pass to like support the game, play the season with the bonuses from the pass, and it would be a pretty pleasant experience. Or you know, if you just wanna play for free, which I played some games for free in the past, which were similar. And it is a nice feeling that you know that you don't invest any money in it and you still like do stuff. Here's the thing though, usually your time is more valuable, so unless you're really short on cash, it's probably a good idea to speed things up a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, they already released 4 seasons and I think they're gonna release a lot more. And they're using this game to like raise funds for their future games, so I think it's a good idea. Like, I imagine there's a lot of whales also who like don't want to play too much but do want to unlock everything just so they feel better, and yeah, then they invest a lot in the game. This is funny, yeah. Like we had similar powers, so like the game kept rolling. So if you get like same numbers, then you redo it again. Nunesaka. But yeah, it's kind of cool. A lot of nice story and lore. There is like no content locked behind any kind of paywall. There's just like these identities which you can get faster if you get resources faster by like getting the passes or paid currency, but you can unlock everything kind of reliably by just playing. There's a gacha system, but there's also a way to just craft identities with special currency that's freely available by just playing, so it's just a matter of how much you're gonna have to do it, and I don't think it's an absurd amount. Of course, it might be a little bit overwhelming jumping into it right now when it's already like going on for so long. But there's a lot of helpful people in forums, so if you're like, hey, I'm just gonna start playing, what's your suggestion to do first, which identities to get? There's some of them which are really, really powerful and which you should probably go for first. Like Sinclair's probably a really good example of a really strong identity. I'll probably grab Sinclair first, to be honest. You can probably get it in a, I don't know how long, but depends how much you would play. But it's really like, just grab the game, try it out, play it, see how fast you get the currencies, and decide if tier 3 identities are out of your reach. There's like some huge bonuses you get every week also, like there's like a dungeon you can do every week that gives like huge amount of extra currency, but only once per week, and you can use this currency to get really, really close really fast to like more resources. Yeah. But yeah, this part really uneventful, just smashing them down super easily. Like we just lose lots of time here for animation, but this was this. I think I'm playing on fastest speed though, right? There we go. But sooner or later we're gonna run into a boss. Sometimes bosses are pretty tricky, sometimes they are kind of pushovers as well. Phew, battling in our hallway really takes out a lot of you. Well, you're using a spear. Too bad, making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around in takes more energy than you might think, especially for people like us who use longer weapons. I knew it. Exactly. He's using a polearm. Or actually, what's that? A halberd? A bardiche? These enemies weren't much harder than the ones you'd fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer numbers would eventually wear down the sinners. Whoa, what are those things, Faust? She has no idea, she got disconnected from her knowledge base. Yeah, I've been wondering that too, why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those entities are? Huh? Didn't I just ask you the same question? Oh no, are you giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? And they have no idea what's going on. Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question. Wait, what? Faust did not confirm nor deny his question? Oh, Sinclair's question, okay. But Sinclair was perfectly capable, because Faust is a her, so... But Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. I just realized, this game does not have thems. Everyone's like, he or she. Outdated. There are some things I'm glad, though. Like, yeah, it is a thing. Like... some people being transgender, but it's like super rare, so... And like... Yeah, if you follow news, it might seem that it's more common than it actually is. So yeah, I'm like the whole trend of including a lot of transgender people in video games. It's like, I don't know, it's a hit or miss. It's okay to have some here and there, but if it's too much, then it's just becoming like this, like, I don't know, getting on the bandwagon thing. So as far as I know, this game doesn't have any transgender characters. Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong, though. It has like characters with no gender, I guess, though, like robots and stuff and monsters and... But anyway, I digress. There are some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we are an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. Quite, it's apparent that they hunger for aught, charging at anyone and ending desperate quests of it. Right, that's strange though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing aboard these trains. It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that their offensives were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yeah, well, so they're zombies. Or, well, an equivalent of it. Yes, and was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies wraithed in blankets of red. I smell blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed, nigh crystallized blood. Thank you all. Your input has all been very helpful. It was my turn to start whispering. What do you learn from that? We are in luck, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination, moments before we boarded the train, and while that will be a useful element in resolving this situation, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it comes to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open? Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment, however, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Foss turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Huh? Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever's on our way? That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind V-Corp's contract, and provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind the incidents on this train, and by extension, every incident of the same nature that has occurred in previous warp train trips, is a blood fiend. Oh, it's not a zombie, it's not a vampire, it's a blood fiend. Alright. I'm just joking around. That's cool. So we are dealing with something bloody. Have I become a so-called elite? Promote me, Manager Esquire. Well, she did pretty well. Much better than Ryushu, which is not usually the case. The blood fiends. Dum, dum, dum. The bell. Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What in the name of Wings is that? Ah, you of all people haven't heard of blood fiends. Thought you were our team expert on obscure lore. Verily, I have not once heard mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory. Don Quixote furrowed her brows, generally lost. It was as though the words sounded alien to her. I thought they were just monsters in stories to scare children at night. Well, there's some truth to every story out there. Yeah. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? No, those are vampires, Sinclair. Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I heard. I heard their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they're really afraid of is water. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past when I served as a commanding officer, and I've seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the ranks of the Fingers, but the things that blood fiend commanded weren't like those rubber-textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we face in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are drag-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as bloodbags among relevant parties, according to information I'm aware of. Not a terrible name. Why would anyone name someone bloodbags? Take a guess. As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains or V-Corp is vast if incomplete, we could not find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, are you saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they're either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved, no matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp train can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalization, of course. Ugh. However, as the passenger's collective time itself is in moratorium for the duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. If they're merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of the other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. However, such is not true for bloodbags. Bloodbags are by their nature obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims, and it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Wait, what? Did you just say that digestion is not a thing while we're on the train? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for bloodfiends and bloodbags is fundamentally different process from our consumption of nutrients for energy. To them, blood is a culmination, an entanglement of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes of existence. Then it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion. Oh, I'm following even half of that. You and me both, you and me both. You exist in a moratorium of time at the present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy, they continue to spark within you. Huh, well, I suppose they are. Though we cannot tell whether they may be in state of alteration or whatever they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction. It can be said that emotions, once past, exist not in continuation. The passengers will to leave, the word of this very existence in which they strive, do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence even amidst the sea's time? Miss Fossil seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to bloodfiends. Gotcha, so what's why she said blood is vaporized, huh? If that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means that they can't be pieced back together. There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone falls silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions if you would permit me. Yesang was the first to break the silence. Could it be said that bloodbags are direct creations of bloodfiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they? That information is inaccessible at the moment. Foss replies, avoiding Yesang's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The seniors will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust, and that's something we both want to avoid. Inaccessible? Ah, indeed. Now I recall what you have said in the past. This is only a speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a bloodbag. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. Indeed. In that case, that villain of Bloodfiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard the train. Indeed. If you're here to believe the words of the fixer from earlier, then there is a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the Bloodfiend. Very well, I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Tanti. It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Foss, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We are making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. Right, so a little bit of explanation about what we are fighting, some philosophy, some hiding of the current state of the Faust. Okay, see, this one's struggling. Like, we roll 6 to 12, we can see on the top of the screen, enemy rolls 8 to 20, so we're most likely to lose this clash, and yeah, losing a clash is not really good, so I'll just click this button here. Instead, we're just gonna defend from their attack. And just let the others do their job. We do get stronger as the time goes on, so there is like some prudency in not getting too wounded while we're at it. Look at the Sinclair go though. Whew, that's nice. So we're gonna get only one wave here. Again, she's So yeah, I would like to replace the V Corp Faust. Or maybe I just need to like level her or up-tie her or something like that. But I thought I already did that. So this time she's fine because she's doing a one-sided attack. Yeah, we have the upper hand, that's clear. It's gonna be a while before we get to like some harder fights, I think, here. And a lot of story to read through. It is a little bit exhausting to read all of that, but I like to do it. Like, I'm like, here, if I'm gonna experience the game, right, I'm gonna experience to its fullest. I could like easily just like skip through all that dialogue and be like, hey, read that if you like, read that if you like. But I don't know, I like to get into it. Like a while back I played a game called the Obra Dinn, and like a friend of mine from real world, a real life friend of mine. That's such a weird saying, right? Somebody I know outside of internet, there we go. Somebody I know in person, there we go. Actually watched me play and got a little bit frustrated by like me over-analyzing things. But like my response was like, hey, listen. Yes, some things you can jump to conclusion, some things you can either even guess 50-50, but hey, there's only one Obra Dinn out there and it's an amazing game. So, like, if you're already playing it, you might want to get the maximum out of it. It's a relatively short game. You can complete it in 10 hours or so if you're like to guess, or like 20-25 hours if you're more like me, who likes to like pay attention to details and gather all the clues. So yeah, I really wanted to get most out of it. It was a pretty enjoyable time for me. But yeah, I can see how it could be frustrating for somebody watching. Be like, it's right there, just do it. You got all the clues. Don't overanalyze things. But yeah. Right, so they're almost like, well, you're halfway through already, that's nice. But there's more to this event than just doing the stories. There is also like grabbing all the rewards. So yeah, we have 460 currency right now. I don't know what's the total I need, but it's like 4,000. So yeah, I got like 20 days to collect enough. And it's probably gonna be through mirror dungeons mostly, which I will probably not record. But yeah, it's gonna be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. So we are fighting Blood Fiends. If you did enjoy it... Oh, look at that. That changed. It was blue before. Interesting. Huh. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I wish you all to have a wonderful day, do some nice things, be kind to each other, and let's make the world a better place together. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode of Limbus Company and the Murder on the Warp Express event. We're gonna do some more. TheNeomare signing out. Bye bye.